Good evening, you have just boarded the Victoria Line train to Seven Sisters. Any passengers in need for the Waterloo and City Line, please change at King's Cross. Now this movie pumps a new wave of oxygen into a heartless but heartfelt tragedy. A tragedy which unfolds once flattened from a box into a crucifix, allowing me to bring to your attention the lives of three men. Three very different men, who would never have crossed paths, would probably never cross paths again for that matter. Line up! I want you all to tell the audience who you are, where you're from, and a secret no other man knows. Let's start with you. The cook. Yeah, my name is Benji Brockware, I'm a cook. Today is Tuesday the 25th of April. Just another bland day for me. I work at Pizza Go-Go in Lewisham, just on the high street, as their maid chef. Single, no girlfriend, couldn't afford one. Didn't finish college, didn't want to go uni. Mum and dad divorced, so I never really got to know my dad. Just like my dad really, but anyway, I'm having a shit day. Lost my wallet on my lunch break. Anyway, it's 7 p.m. I'm on the Victoria Line to King's Cross. Thank you.
Yes, I'm the priest. You can call me Father Farrell. It's Tuesday the 25th of April. Today I've been a priest for my 46th year. I've held authority on the board of governors for 14 institutions within my constituency. I received a standing ovation from my local council midday today because I helped raise £200,000 to keep East Branches Church in activity. My father was a doctor and my mother was a solicitor. I wouldn't like to say I grew up with a silver spoon in my mouth, but we didn't have to struggle, we can put it that way. I would not lie to you. I hate those that go against the will of God. I think the Archbishop of Canterbury should be shot after his claims my beloved country should inherit Sharia laws. I blame the downfall of this country on its fused cultures and religions. My plan is to move to Australia by the end of the year. Anyway, I'm sitting on a tube train on my way to King's Cross to give a lecture on Catholic philosophy.
Yeah, blood, man's a convict, whatever, a thief, you get me? Call me Jay. Well, a couple of years ago, me and my regiment tried to rob a Jewish bank in North Wheezy on Christmas Day. Can you believe that, blood? I know it sounded dumb to me too, blood, but you know them Jewish banks are open on Christmas Day. Anyway, my regiment showed me to be cool, he lied to me. He said he had an inside man, like the movie The Inside Man, he lied. We got locked down. I got locked down on my 18th birthday by a Jewish judge on top of that, blood. You know what I mean? They moved man from Felton to Springfield in a matter of weeks, blood. You know what I mean? The only reason you actually hear this is because today I got day release, and that's about it. But you know what? Don't think pens made me soft. You get me? Still jack breaders. I jacked one breaders a day this afternoon. Trust me, got a bit of shrapnel off his wallet. But weren't even worth it. But you know what? Anyway, that's me. Don't tell this to the police anyway. Don't tell it to the boy them, because they'll lock me down for another year. Easy. Now you've made their acquaintance. Hold on to your seats as the movie's about to begin and the doors are about to close. For the past 9 hours, Benjamin had been slaving away over a kitchen stove in Pizza Go-Go. The day was finally over. He felt a profound feeling of both relief and fatigue. There he sat in Victoria Tube Station Platform 2, waiting for an expected train which was set to arrive in 1 minute. In those 60 seconds, it's almost as if time had frozen. His thoughts drifted wildly in and out of consciousness, from sleep state to dream state, from dream state to sleep state. He was suddenly woken by a roaring train as it pulled up to the platform. He dragged his feet inside the floor of a relatively empty train. He crashed his weight against the chairs, slumping across two of them like an old bag of rotten potatoes, slowly decomposing from rays of a violent sun. It's times like these when his laissez-faire attitude comes in handy. There he sat, brain dead, mouth open, gazing at the tube's adverts half a metre above his eye line. He then glances over his left shoulder to get a picture of the other passengers boarding the train. Nanoseconds before the train door closes, he sees a priest 2 carriages away, stuffing himself into the closing doors. The doors finally close, and the engine begins to pump vibrations throughout the train. Benjamin looks across and gazes at the eyes of all the train passengers as they sit opposite him. It's always funny how on a train everyone seems to occupy themselves with whatever they can find apart from the eyes of the person who sits opposite. Benji catches the eyes of an attractive businesswoman sitting opposite. He slowly smiles. She looks away in disgust. Benjamin smiles even harder. He then becomes more and more aware of the sound of a strange harp-like instrument being played in the next carriage across. He closes his eyes and tries his best to block its message by emptying his mind, but he couldn't help notice the sound coming closer and closer, louder and louder. His eyes flash open and he sights a small but plump Albanian woman making her way through the emergency door. For her age, she still had slight resemblance of what once could have been regarded as beauty. Her eyes seemed as if they retained a permanent engagement with pain. Her clothes were dirt-ridden. It looked like her skirt had been dragging for miles, decorated with flowers that had withered and died many moons ago. Tucked away in her right arm was a strange pear-shaped sound bowl carved out of a single piece of wood. She made her way down to the middle of the carriage. Her unwelcome audience didn't hesitate to give her a standing ovation of silence as she prepared her instrument. As she began plucking painfully at the string, she drew a musical blood never heard before by Benji. He was completely amazed. In no time at all, Benji became completely enthralled by her enchanting melody. He'd never heard anything like it before. The old woman may have carried a stench, but the music she tailored was completely angelic. She reached the end of the orchestration, and Benjamin applauded loudly. He applauded gleefully, smashing his hands together for a good 30 seconds. She came close to him, wearing a weathered smile of approval, and stretched out her hand, begging for change. Now he knew he lost his wallet, but he was sure he had some spare change somewhere. He searched frantically. He searched his pockets, his jacket, his bag, but still no avail. He continued to search and found 1 sterling pound coin. He felt relieved and placed the coin of a thorough conviction into the palm of the old lady just as she bowed to say thank you. She dropped to her knees, striking the left side of her chest with a tremendous blow, her knees buckling backwards. Benjamin couldn't believe his eyes as he watched her body crash to the floor, palm face firmly on the left side of her chest. The coin she once held rolled uncontrollably into the corner of the carriage. Benji glanced back at the woman, her eyes and mouth wide open as she lay flat, left leg twisted over her right thigh, showing a horrific face of pain. Benjamin was shocked. What's going on? He tried to crouch down towards the woman and ask her what was wrong. He couldn't make out her words, but she was obviously in complete pain and the source came from her heart. Just at that moment, the train stopped moving and the lights began flickering.
Good evening, this is the driver speaking. Sorry about the delay we're experiencing, a few signal failures, a driver up front waiting for the go-ahead. As soon as I hear any further information, I'll let you all know. Once again, we're sorry for any inconvenience. We'll be moving shortly. Thank you.
Benjamin ran over to the intercom, pulling the passenger alarm. Hello, driver.
Hello?
Listen to me closely.
Yeah, I'm listening. Talk to me.
There's a woman dying of a heart attack on the train right beside me.
Are you sure it's a
Am I
heart attack?
sure she's having a heart attack? If someone collapses in front of you holding the heart...
Okay, I believe you, but what we've got to do, right, with the train is stuck as it is, I can't move anywhere.
If you do nothing, this death's on you.
Look, I'll alert my superiors, do the best you can do. In the meantime, see if you can find a doctor. Search the train proper, I'm sure you'll spot one.
Okay, I'm on it. Hit me back as soon as you know something. I'll search the train completely and I'm sure I'll find something. For some reason, Benjamin felt emotionally attached to this woman's pain. He felt compelled to help her, he didn't know why. He scoured each carriage of the train, asking each passenger if they were a doctor or knew how at least to stabilize a heart attack. No one would help him. They either looked away thinking he was a beggar or himself just completely crazy. 4 carriages down, he notices a priest, the one he saw earlier. It was Father Farrell, who had been sitting peacefully listening to his iPod filled with German church hymns. Father, please, I need your help.
What do you want?
There's a woman out there on the floor having a heart attack.
Are you blind? I'm not a doctor. Can't you see this white collar?
I know you're not a doctor, but neither am I. I need someone's help anyway.
All right. Where is she now?
I'll show you where she is. Please, follow me out. The priest knew he had no medical abilities, but the way he saw it, if someone was going to die on the train and he was a passenger, it would be damning for his reputation if he sat by and did nothing. Walking down the carriageway, they finally reach the elderly woman. The priest takes one look at her and feels completely unattached. To him, all he saw was an old bag lady dying. She wasn't the kind of person he usually preferred to get close to. Plus, he wasn't a doctor. He took one look at her and decided he had a better idea. He grabbed the arm of the stranger who led him to the carriage.
Look, I said I'm not a doctor. What do you expect me to do?
I know, but I need someone's help.
What's your name?
Benjamin.
Look, as I said earlier, Benjamin, I'm not a doctor. Look, I'm a priest.
I know, but look, I've tried to get people's attention to help me, but no one will listen to me. Maybe they'll listen to you instead.
Look, have you gone through this training and asked everyone if they're a doctor?
Well, not really,
Well,
but...
what are you waiting for? Go on, get out there and do it.
The priest felt completely unattached. He wasn't a doctor. There wasn't much he could do anyway. He walked towards the end of the train and sat down and closed his eyes. He thought the best way to help this woman was to say a prayer. Something told him she wasn't worth it. Besides, she was probably already dead, so it didn't really matter to him. He sat down, and at that point a young man who was sitting opposite asked the priest if everything was okay. At first the priest tried to ignore him and nodded. But then he thought, the man may not be stupid and may interrupt his prayer, so the priest elaborated.
Look, somebody's died, third carriage down towards the end of the train. She needs someone's assistant, but you're not a doctor, are you?
Nah, but what's wrong with
It's a
her?
heart attack or something. I wouldn't worry about it, child.
Well, heart attack, that's how my father died, though.
What are you waiting for? Go and give your assistance.
The young man dashes down the carriageways, through each emergency door, dashing through until he meets Benjamin sitting with the old lady. He sees a familiar face and a woman on the floor holding her heart and shaking. He begins to converse with Benjamin. Are you a doctor?
Nah, but I can help though. Get me?
Well, how are you going to help then?
Look, man, just listen to what I got to say, yeah? Look, she needs more oxygen. Open up all the ventilation points in the train, yeah? Can't you see she's having breathing difficulties? She shouldn't be lying like that. We've got to put her in a half-sitting position.
Okay, then when does she start breathing?
Just put her in a half-sitting position.
Like that, yeah?
No, like this.
Where the hell is the priest anyway?
He's sitting down in carriage 6. Anyway, forget that, man. Loosen up her collar. She needs to be able to breathe.
But older, you're not even a doctor.
I said I'm not, yeah, but this is how my father died.
What?
I learnt most of this in Penn.
Pen?
Yeah, Penn, jail, prison, whatever.
Well, what can I do to help you? Can I help?
Yeah, of course, we'll find some aspirin.
What were you talking about? She ain't got a headache.
Blood, you're not listening. Aspirin will help her.
What do you mean aspirin will help her?
Look, if we do nothing, she's gonna die. The aspirin, yeah, will stop the blood clot from forming into an advanced stage, yeah? Hopefully by then the train will start moving.
All right, I'm on it. I'm gonna talk to the driver.
No, you get the aspirin, I'll talk to the driver.
All right, then I'll do it now, yeah?
All right, then.
Hey, driver, we need help, you know. How long is this gonna take before the train moves?
The ambulance are already at the next platform. We should be moving in a minute.
A minute too long, cousin. She's gonna die. Don't you understand that?
Look, I've got that. We'll be moving as soon as possible. Just believe
All right, I
me.
hear that. If she dies, it's on you, blood. Jay goes back to the woman and sees she's not even moving. He can't even tell if she's breathing. By now, Benjamin is scouring the train for aspirin, asking any and everyone he can find. He runs into each carriage, prompting everyone, but the way he's dressed and the tone of his voice leave the other passengers become quite intimidated. He goes through all 8 carriages and finds the priest from earlier, with his eyes closed, sitting at the end of the carriage. Benjamin looks at him in disgust. Father, please! I said I needed your help and you're sleeping, Father! Oi, Father!
Don't touch me!
Wait, hold on a minute. You're sleeping and there's a woman dying in the next carriage. I don't understand that.
What? Get away from me. You want my wallet? Get away.
I don't want your wallet. I'm here to remind you there's a woman dying, remember?
Of course I remember. I'm praying. Don't interrupt me.
Don't worry, I won't.
Never again interrupt me. I'm not a doctor.
I know you're not. I'm just looking for some aspirin. Would you have any?
Do I look like I have any? I have none.
Okay, I'm sorry to bother you. You know what? You got no heart. You call yourself a priest.
What did you say, boy? Come here and say that.
I said for a priest, you got no heart. No heart. Just as the argument reaches climax, the train engine starts again. It begins moving. Benjamin feels like his mind moves in slow motion, and he runs back as fast as he could to the dying woman. He knew he had no aspirin, but something told him to leave the priest and go back to the woman. She was the one who was in need. He tore his way through each emergency door until he came to where he was initially.
Did you get the aspirin?
Nah, no one's got any.
You're joking.
No joke, man.
No one.
No one's got any.
All right. The train's moving, all right? We should be there in a minute. The ambulance are probably waiting.
I just realised something.
What?
I always carry aspirin in my wallet, but I lost it.
You lost the wallet?
Yeah, little black leather on a Oyster card.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? At that point, Jay realized this was the man he actually mugged earlier. He knew he recognized his face from somewhere. He couldn't believe the coincidence. He had Benjamin's wallet on him all along. He looked at Benjamin. He looked at the dying woman. In his mind, he witnessed a complete parallel of life and death. One way up, one way down. It was either his pride or the woman's life. He pulled the wallet out of his pocket. Wait, hold on, that's my wallet. How'd you get my wallet?
I borrowed it. I mean, I stole it.
You stole it when?
Look, man, do you want to help or not?
Yeah, but...
No buts, man. Just give her the aspirin.
All right, just give me the wallet. Let's just deal with it. Benjamin opens his wallet and takes out the aspirin and feeds it into the woman's mouth. At that instant, the tube doors open and bright lights flood the carriage. Ambulance staff rush in and take the woman into their arms. Both men watch froze. The next day on my way to work, I picked up a copy of the Metro, as you know you do. The front page states, "Heroes save woman with an aspirin on Victoria Line." You see, today was yesterday, and tomorrow is now today. Tuesday, the 25th of April, was the day. The thief became the priest became the thief, and the cook became the saint. Lord Byron Lee.